Today's lesson, we're going to be talking about exponents, okay, and what an exponent is and how it works. So today's I can statement is going to be I can use exponents, okay. Exponents are a quick way to represent repeated multiplication. So if you go back, okay, if I have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, I can either add this, or we learned back in 3rd grade that we can change repeated addition into this thing called multiplication. And I could do, there's 4, and how many groups of 4 do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could do 4 times 5, which equals 20, and it's a faster way. Well, with exponents are a faster way to do repeated multiplication. All right, so the way we could read an exponent is, for example, 5 to the 2nd power, or 5 squared. So what it's going to look like is you're going to have a base. This is your base. So the base of 5 to the 2nd power. This right here is your power, or your exponent, okay? Or we call it 5 squared, okay? 2 is going to be called squared. Here we have 7 to the 3rd power. So I have 7 to the 3rd power, or what we call it cubed, okay? Squared and cubed are the only fancy names we have. Now if I have 6 to the 7th power, it's called 6 to the 7th power. But what does that mean? What does it represent? Okay? The exponent tells us how many times the base is used as a factor. Now go back in your brain and remember, what is a factor? A factor is one of the numbers that you use to multiply. So we have 7 to the 3rd power, or 7 cubed. To write this in the exponential form, we use the base and we multiply it by how many times the exponent's there. So for example, your base was 7 and to the 3rd power. So you're going to write 7 3 times, multiply it 3 times. Notice, it's not 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. That's not what we're doing here. We're doing 7 times 7, which is 49 times 7, 49 times 7, which gives us 343. All right, so let's look here, for example. We have some problems here where they're written in exponential form, and we want to put them in an exponent. Okay, so I have 3. See how 3 is the number that's being repeated? That's going to be your base. How many times is the number 3 repeated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I would write this as 3 to the 5th power. Look at number 2. What's our base going to be? 5, right? It's repeated how many times? 1, 2, 3 times. So it'll be 5 to the 3rd power, what we call 5 cubed. And the last one, it's going to be, our base will be 2, because that's the number that's being repeated. And how many times is it repeated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'll be 2 to the 8th power. Another way you may have to do, you may get the exponent. Like say, for example, number 1, 4 cubed, 4 to the 3rd power. How am I going to find the value of that? Well, you need to write it out. So 4 is our base, so that's the number that's going to be repeated. And our exponent tells us how many times it's going to be repeated. So I need 3 4s, and I need to multiply them. Okay? 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is going to give me, it should give me 74. Let's try it out. 4, my bad, 64. It's going to equal 64. It is not 4 times 3 equals 12. That's not the answer. All right. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try numbers 2 and number 3. Alright, so we have 8 squared, which is written as 8 times 8. It's written twice because our exponent is 2. 8 times 8 is 64. Alright, number 3, we have 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. We have 1 written 4 times because our exponent is to the 4th. Well, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1. So that's pretty easy. Okay? Alright, we're not going to worry about that. Alright. Here's some cool little tricks about exponents, okay? Any number to the 0 power is 1. So if I have 12 to the 0 power, it's 1. If I have 136 to the 0 power, it's 1. If I have this long number here to the 0 power, it's equal to 1. Any number raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay? Alright. When we have powers of 10, the exponent tells us how many numbers of zeros to have. So here we have 10 to the 0 power. Well, we're not going to have any zeros because there's 0 zeros. So it's just 1. 10 to the 1 first power, which is the regular number, is just going to be 10. 10 squared is 10 times 10. You get 2 zeros. 10 to the third power, 3 zeros. Okay? Exponents don't have to be that hard. Okay? Just remember that when you have your base and your exponent, that your base is the number that's being repeated, and the exponent tells you how many times it should be repeated. And that's how we do exponents.